At the beginning of the story, we meet Junwoo. He lives a comfortable life. He's a social media creator who earns his living by playing video games. But one day, while he's in the middle of a game, his computer screen suddenly gets flooded with messages. Every single one says the same thing. People are suddenly going crazy. Shocked, he immediately turns on the TV, but within seconds, the news broadcast cuts off and the signal disappears completely. Right then, an emergency alert pops up on his phone. At the same moment, he notices people outside his window running for their lives. He still can't believe what's happening, so he walks over to the window and looks down. And what he sees leaves him completely stunned. People are viciously biting each other, and the streets are filled with total chaos. Terrified, he rushes back into his apartment. But one question keeps running through his mind. Has the same thing happened inside my building? He looks through the peephole, but the hallway is completely empty. The moment he opens the door, an unknown young man suddenly rushes into his apartment. Junwoo tries his best to stop him, but the terrified stranger says, "My brother suddenly went crazy. He tried to bite me. I'll leave right away. Just let me use your bathroom for a few minutes." With no other choice, Junwoo lets him stay. He turns the TV back on, and this time it's finally confirmed. A deadly zombie virus has spread across the entire city. Then Junwoo notices a wound on the stranger's body. Without wasting a second, he grabs a kitchen knife and orders him to get out of the apartment. But the young man keeps repeating the same words. "I'm not infected." Then his eyes slowly turn red. His body begins shaking violently, and the very next second, he completely loses control and lunges straight at Junwoo. After a desperate struggle, Junwoo manages to shove him out of the apartment and slams the door shut. After witnessing everything, the first people he thinks about are his parents. He immediately tries calling them, but every single call ends with the same message. The phone is out of network coverage. Frustrated, Junwoo unlocks his phone. That's when he comes across a live stream showing a man hanging off his apartment balcony. Trying to capture even better footage, the man leans farther out, but the next second his grip slips and he falls straight to his death. Now he's trapped inside his apartment with no way to contact anyone. Time crawls by. Even playing video games can't distract him anymore. Then suddenly he hears gunshots coming from outside. He rushes to the window and a bullet flies right past his head. Across the street, a female police officer is fighting dozens of zombies all by herself. She takes them down one after another, but after a few moments, she runs out of ammunition. As she reaches into her pocket for a fresh magazine, it slips from her hand and falls to the ground. That single mistake gives the zombies their chance. They swarm her and begin tearing her apart while she's still alive. Junwoo can't bear to watch. He screams at the top of his lungs, trying to draw the zombies toward himself, but none of them respond to his voice. Instead, his scream alerts a zombie standing outside his apartment. It starts smashing through his front door. Junwoo had already blocked the entrance with a refrigerator. He pushes against it with all his strength, desperately trying to keep the door shut, but he can't hold the zombie back for long. With no other option left, Junwoo runs toward the balcony and makes a desperate decision to save his life. He jumps over the edge. The zombie immediately leaps after him, but Junwoo has already grabbed the balcony railing, leaving himself hanging in midair and barely escaping with his life. After climbing back up, the first thing Junwoo does is repair his broken front door with a hammer. After a lot of effort, he finally manages to fix the lock. But the moment he looks down, he's completely shocked. All of the food he had stored near the door is scattered everywhere. Now he's even more worried than before. The loneliness has become so overwhelming that he starts imagining his mother and family. For a moment, it feels like he's hugging his mom and crying in her arms. But the very next second, he realizes it was only an illusion. All the pain he's been holding inside finally comes pouring out, and he breaks down in tears. Just then, he notices a voicemail from his mother on his phone. But with no signal inside the apartment, he can't play it. So he hangs over the balcony railing, hoping to get a better connection. Hundreds of zombies below spot him and begin screaming. But at last, the voicemail starts playing. The moment he hears his mother's voice and the voices of his family, he can't hold back his tears. Overcome with grief and anger, he storms out of his apartment and attacks the first zombie he sees. But his anger disappears instantly when he notices dozens of zombies rushing toward him. He immediately runs back into his apartment to save himself. Surrounded from every direction, Junwoo is completely broken. He decides to end his life. He ties a rope and prepares to hang himself. But just then, a red light suddenly shines across his face. He looks up and sees a beautiful young woman standing on the balcony of the building across from him, signaling for him to stop. Somehow, Junwoo frees himself from the rope. The girl gestures for him to come out to the balcony at exactly 7 o'clock the next morning. The next morning, they introduce themselves to each other for the very first time. Suddenly, the girl hears a faint noise. She goes to check and discovers that a zombie has been caught in the trap she set. But unlike Junwoo, she doesn't panic at all. Without wasting a second, she grabs her axe and crushes the zombie's head with a single strike. When she returns to the balcony, she sees Junwoo eagerly waiting to see her. She ties a rope to a ball and tries to throw it to his apartment. Using the rope, the girl starts sending Junwoo a box of food every day. After going hungry for so many days, he finally gets a full meal and keeps thanking her over and over again. But then, a zombie notices the ball lying on the ground and grabs it. Junwoo immediately warns the girl through hand signals, but it's already too late. Before she can untie the rope, the zombie yanks it with all its strength. She slams into a table and is knocked unconscious. Now the zombie slowly begins climbing up the rope toward her balcony. Junwoo tries everything he can to distract it with his drone, but the next second, the zombie grabs the drone and throws it to the ground. Just as it's about to reach the balcony, the girl regains consciousness. Without wasting a single second, she swings her axe, slicing the zombie's hand clean off, sending it crashing back to the ground. The dozens of zombies below immediately look up at her. Now they know there's still someone alive in that building. While she's picking up the supplies scattered below, she notices a bright light coming from Junwoo's apartment. She looks through her binoculars and sees Junwoo holding up his phone with the words, "Best of luck." Maybe for the first time, someone had truly admired her courage. At that very moment, Junwoo also makes a decision. He will never live in fear again. He straps sponges to his feet so he won't make a sound while walking, attaches a flashlight near his ear, quietly opens the door, and steps into the building filled with death. After days without food, he's desperately searching for something to eat. Rotten corpses are scattered everywhere. Then he spots a key on the floor. He quickly picks it up and unlocks the apartment across the hall, never realizing this decision is about to bring him closer to death than ever before. Inside, he notices someone's legs. Nervously, he throws a shoe toward them, but nothing moves. Relieved, he opens the refrigerator and starts filling his backpack with food. Then he notices a walkie-talkie. The moment he picks it up, it suddenly turns on. Its loud static echoes through the entire apartment, and the next second, a zombie charges straight at him at full speed. Junwoo falls to the floor. The zombie's face is only inches away from his. It seems like everything is over, but at the last possible second, he shoves a nearby corpse onto the zombie, escapes, and barely makes it back to his apartment alive. After so many days, he finally eats a full meal. Then he sends part of the food, along with the walkie-talkie, to the girl. The next morning, a sweet voice comes through the radio. "Thank you." For the first time in days, both of them are talking to another living person. In that moment, it feels like maybe the world isn't completely lost yet. But then heavy rain suddenly begins to pour, and with it, hundreds of zombies flood into the building. Suddenly, something slips from the girl's hand and falls to the ground. The noise instantly attracts every zombie, and they all rush toward her apartment. Junwoo quickly asks for her apartment number and calls the telephone in the apartment next to hers. As soon as the phone starts ringing, all the zombies run toward the sound. Now both of them realize that if they want to survive, they have to reach each other no matter what. The girl ties a rope around her body and jumps from the building without a second's hesitation. Dozens of zombies immediately rush toward her. She narrowly escapes death again and again. But suddenly one zombie knocks her to the ground. It's just about to bite her when Junwoo storms in with a hockey stick and saves her with a single powerful strike. But that relief lasts only a few seconds. The next moment, a massive horde of zombies charges at them from every direction. They run back into the building and take the elevator upstairs. Junwoo tries opening one door after another, but none of them are safe. Then one zombie spots them, and within seconds, the entire horde is chasing them. Suddenly, a smoke grenade lands nearby. Thick smoke fills the hallway, blinding every zombie and giving Junwoo a few precious seconds to escape. Without wasting a moment, he rushes into a mysterious room, completely unaware that he has just made the biggest mistake of his life. The mysterious man saves both of their lives, but even then, the girl refuses to lower her weapon. The man slowly reveals his face and calmly tells them that he isn't infected. He explains that he stocked up on food and essential supplies months ago. Then he opens a bottle of water and offers it to both of them, but neither Junwoo nor the girl drinks it. To earn their trust, he takes a sip from the same bottle himself. Junwoo, who hasn't had a drop of water in 2 days, can't hold back anymore and immediately drinks it. The girl still finds the situation a little strange, but when Junwoo signals for her to drink, she finally takes a sip as well. After going hungry for so many days, both of them eat the food without any hesitation. Then the man tells them that a rescue team will be arriving in this area very soon. Hearing that, hope finally returns to Junwoo's face after so many months. The very next moment, he and the girl hug each other, but neither of them has any idea that their lives are about to change within the next few seconds. Suddenly, the girl's eyes fall on a family photo hanging on the wall. Looking at him suspiciously, she asks, "Where are your wife and children?" Before the man can answer, the girl's head starts feeling heavy. At the same time, Junwoo also loses consciousness and falls asleep. Without wasting a second, the man ties Junwoo's hands with plastic zip ties. A few moments later, the girl collapses to the floor as well. He drags her into another room, locks the door from the outside, and leaves her there. When she finally wakes up, she freezes in fear after seeing a female zombie chained in front of her. It takes her only a second to realize that the zombie is the man's wife. Slowly, the man begins loosening the rope that is holding the female zombie back. Starving for days, she instantly lunges at the girl the moment she sees her. Just then, a voice echoes from behind. Pull the rope back. Standing there with a gun is Junwoo, but the man completely ignores his own safety and lets go of the rope. Junwoo immediately throws away the gun and grabs the rope, but it slips right through his hands. The next moment, terrifying screams erupt from inside the room. Panicking, the man quickly unlocks the door. As soon as he looks inside, his wife pulls the cloth away from her face and throws herself at him. Without a second of hesitation, she tears him apart alive. Watching the horrifying scene leaves both Junwoo and the girl in tears. Unable to watch him suffer any longer, the girl shoots him, but the gunshot echoes throughout the entire building. Within seconds, thousands of zombies outside hear the noise and begin rushing straight toward their room. At that moment, the girl makes a heartbreaking decision. She looks at Junwoo and says, "It's better to die than keep living this painful life. Shoot me with this pistol." Hearing those words, Junwoo's hands begin to shake. He hesitates, but with no other choice, he slowly raises the gun. Tears stream down both of their faces. They have completely lost hope of surviving. Then suddenly, the sound of a siren echoes in the distance. Looking out the window, Junwoo realizes that the rescue team has finally arrived in the area. But there's one huge problem. They're trapped inside the building, so the rescue team has no way of seeing them. That's when Junwoo decides they have to reach the rooftop. The moment he opens the door, dozens of zombies charge straight at them. Both of them fight back with everything they have, but there are simply too many zombies. Fighting their way through, they finally reach the staircase. Junwoo grabs a bicycle and throws it into the horde, using it to slow the zombies down. That gives the girl just enough time to reach the rooftop, but the barricade doesn't hold for long. A moment later, Junwoo also makes it onto the roof and quickly slams the rooftop door shut. Both of them scream at the top of their lungs, "We're up here! Survivors, we're up here!" But the rescue team still doesn't hear them. Then, in the very next moment, the rooftop door bursts open, and the zombies come rushing toward them. Junwoo shoots down several zombies, one after another, but there are far too many of them. It seems almost impossible to survive. It looks like everything is finally over, but at that exact moment, a rescue helicopter appears above the rooftop. The soldiers on board immediately open fire, cutting down every zombie within moments. At last, Junwoo and the girl are rescued, and that's where the story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this story, let me know in the comments. Which scene was your favorite?